Hello and welcome to the Blakes Brothers once again. I'm R.C. Blakes Jr.
I'm Samuel Blakes. Welcome.
Well, man, we have been really enjoying doing this and getting all of the feedback, people connecting with us, not just our personal stuff, but our joint page, the Blakes Brothers, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's just amazing. All of the questions that are coming in at our email, it's just amazing. I think you have a new question for us today.
I do have a new question. I just found out that my friend's boyfriend is cheating on her. I didn't see him cheat firsthand. Someone told me about it, and I trust the person who told me. The question is, should I tell my friend? This is from Ashley in ATL.
Wow, that's a pretty tight predicament to be in, because it is at this point it's hearsay.
Certainly.
You know what I mean? I would ask Ashley, what does this guy's character suggest to her? Right. Because friends have intuition. What does his character suggest to you? And secondly, I think since it is hearsay and since she didn't see it with her own eyes, I would suggest that Ashley would confront him, and not even confront him as much as tell him what she's heard, and also, don't put on the table that she's not going to tell a friend, because as I ponder this, if you heard something about Lisa,
yeah,
you know what I mean, but you didn't see it, and then later it turned out to be true, and you didn't tell me.
I'm gonna go tell it on the mountain.
As close as we are,
over the hills
as brothers, that could really impact our relationship.
Certainly.
So she has to tell her friend, but I think I would give him the benefit of telling him first.
Yeah. Well, again, it is hearsay. It is nothing that has been substantiated by you. So, I mean, you owe your friend at least a conversation about it, but you don't need to jump to conclusions, and you don't need to be accusatory and all of the above. You just need to make your friend cognizant of what you've heard.
Absolutely. And I wonder, this person that told her, is this a mutual friend between she and her friend, who's with this young man? Because at that point, why didn't you go straight to the source?
Right.
What? And is this just hearsay that you're passing around? At that point, it becomes gossip.
And then there have been occasions that people have lied on me, or people have
all the time
misconstrued what was transpiring. You can be in a meeting with a person of the opposite sex
all of the time,
and all of a sudden someone concludes that this is cheating or dating or something of the sort. So we have to be very, very cautious and very conscious as we move forward.
I think the best way for her to preserve all of the relationships, number one, the relationship with her friend. Number two, I'm assuming that she and the young man have a pretty decent relationship, is to be honest with him and to tell her friend at the same time.
Certainly, yeah.
What she's heard, but give him the benefit of knowing what's going on.
Right.
I think at this point we're going to go to the streets. Let's go to our beautiful, wonderful correspondent, Miss Casey Ferrand, and she's on the street, and she has a question for us.
Hey, I'm Casey Ferrand, your Blakes Brothers correspondent. I'm here in New Orleans with Kevin, and what's your question for the Blakes Brothers?
Thank you, Casey. Yes, my question is, I'm the owner of Wire Solutions audio, video, and security installations. And a lot of times as I'm scrolling up Facebook, Instagrams, all of those social platforms, and I see other businesses, promoting their businesses and doing great and blossoming, I find myself getting discouraged because of, what they're doing, and I don't want to be discouraged. So my question is, how can I keep moving forward and pressing on without being discouraged?
Do you have any, what are your thoughts? I have some definite thoughts.
Well, the Bible talks about not despising small beginnings, and it says, though your beginnings are small, yet your latter end shall be greatly increased. So my encouragement to the brother is, to understand that in the embryonic stages, all things are small.
Yeah.
You just have to work your way through this. I pastor a church now of thousands of people, but I started in a little building in Hammond, Louisiana.
That's right. That's right.
You know, that was barely as big as the room we are filming in right now.
That's right.
You know, so you just have to wade through the waters of discouragement, and you have to understand that the prize is so much bigger than the price you're paying right now.
And the philosophy I live by is don't get discouraged, get better.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of these social media phenoms, it's just fluff.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that stuff that he's seeing on social media, it's just image. There's really no substance behind it.
Right.
You know, do your thing, perfect what you do it to the best of your ability, get better, stop worrying about necessarily being bigger, get better, and if you get better, you automatically get bigger. And it's really not about quantity as much as it is about quality.
Right.
Because a lot of the people that you see today that are social media superstars, you won't see them in 6 months.
That's right.
But building your business, building your brand on a solid foundation, and making certain that you're doing your due diligence to put your brand out there, to make certain that your product is the very best, and celebrating those who are doing it well.
Right.
You know, don't get discouraged by it, because God gives you access to people who do what you do at a higher level so that you may learn from them.
Yeah, and just run your race at your pace. Run your race at your pace, and bloom at where God has planted you, and understand that, you know, when you see other people succeeding, it's really not a source of discouragement. It ought to be a source of encouragement. Because it says to you, if God could do it for them, or if they can accomplish it, so can I.
Another thing to consider is that you don't know, you're looking at where they are now, but you don't know what place they are in terms of what they're doing. By that I mean, everybody pays attention to the shine.
Yeah.
But nobody really acknowledges the process of the polish.
They see the shine, but they don't recognize the grind.
Absolutely. So, you may be 4 years in, 5 years in, or whatever, but you may be looking at somebody that's 20 years deep.
Right.
And so, you comparisons are not good.
Right.
We shouldn't compare. We really shouldn't compete. And if we don't do those things, we won't complain. We'll just get better.
Well, when you compare, you begin to compete, and you begin to complain, and ultimately you conform. And when you conform, you lose the original that God has designed you to be.
Absolutely. So stick with the process, brother. I can see you have your mind right. Praise the Lord. Let's see. I think this third question is, it's actually directed at me anyway. Bishop R.C., I'm always seeing you on YouTube talking about soul ties in relationships. I think I have a soul tie to my ex-boyfriend because I still want to be with him even though he's moved on. I saw him with another girl on Instagram the week after we broke up, or he broke up with me. I need to get over him. How do I break this soul tie? Well, now, just for some clarity, we use this terminology, soul tie. And soul is a synonym for the mind, the will, the emotions. And there are relationships that break up that there is still a mental connection to the person, even after the other person is long gone, out of your life, out of your space. But you're still drawn to that person, right. And that's what she's referencing here. Is it he or she?
She.
I think it's
She's talking about a boyfriend.
Yeah, thank God. That's what she's referencing here. So I would say, soul ties. When your mind is caught up, there was a song when we were kids. Yeah. Your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. I think that what has to happen is that you have to move forward with your life. The reference to I saw him on Instagram means that she's presently in a position of social media stalking him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why are you searching his page on Instagram? Why are you still connected to him on?
And she has obviously seen on Instagram that he has moved on.
Absolutely.
But yet she is like a person on a treadmill running all day in the same place. I always tell people, God is not always saying hold on. Sometimes he's saying move on.
Sometimes he's saying move on. And I think a massive part of that moving on from the soul tie is to push your life in the direction of your future.
Yeah.
Because a soul tie, the indication of a soul tie is that you're living backwards.
Yeah.
It's that your mind is caught up on things that used to be. And so you're like a person that is trying to drive forward while looking backwards. It's like going and driving, trying to drive forward looking in your rearview mirror.
Well, you're trying to marry destiny, but you're still messing around with history.
Absolutely.
You
You'll
know?
never get a date with the destiny as long as you're married to history. And,
Exactly.
And that's what a soul tie does. It marries you to your history. So I would say to her, push your life in the direction of your future. What are your plans? What are your personal goals? You know, allow new people to enter into your life. Of course, boundaries, and of course, you know, a certain process. But do everything you can to push your life in the direction of your future. And when you begin to infiltrate your life with the positive things of your future, it begins to wash out the negativity of your past.
That's right.
It's kind of like when we were kids. Our father had a bad habit. We cooked a lot of stuff, you know, in Holly Grove. We fried a lot of stuff. And so many days there were skillets full of grease. And he would put that skillet, this is unadvised, he would put that skillet into the sink and he would begin to pour hot water into it or run the hot water into it.
Right.
And the more that fresh water went into it, that grease began to rise to the top and it floated over the edges and went down the sink and clogged up our pipes.
Right.
But nonetheless, it got it out of the skillet. You have to fill your life.
The fresh water got rid of the old residue.
Absolutely.
So you got to begin to have fresh experiences
Yes.
and move in a fresh direction.
Yes.
If you're going to ever rid yourself of old habits and old mindsets.
And I think we have to add this as well. You do not get over a soul tie by rushing into a new relationship.
Right.
You need to learn the lessons from the previous relationship. Where did you go wrong? What mistakes have you made? What are some of your tendencies? Where do you need your self-esteem improved? There's a lot of personal positive work that you have to do to put yourself in a position where you can not hold on, but move on.
Move on.
This has been good, man. You know, the time always runs out just too fast for me.
Yeah.
I could just sit here for hours and hours and hours. And I hope that you guys are getting a lot out of this. I encourage you to send your questions to us, follow us on all of the social media platforms, and tell your friends, share this. Tell your friends that we're here doing this, and we hope to do even more of it. Well, I've enjoyed myself today, man.
So have I. So have I. Look forward to talking with you guys, and we love you much. Blessings.
God bless you now. Talk to you soon.